This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 1230, and it's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, is Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Nashville, artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner.
What's happening?
And just down the street there in Nashville, our managing editor, downtown, Emily Brown.
Hey, y'all.
All right, so before we get going, we have a great show, all that stuff I'll tell you about in a minute. I'm going to give you all some production behind the scenes of what just happened here. So we're all here, the four of us,
God.
We're streaming. And Derek,
there's a point to it, don't worry.
Yeah, there is. We're going somewhere. Derek, who is a professional audio person, could not get his mic to turn on. So we're all talking, and Derek is silent, but he's gesturing. We could see his mouth moving, but we couldn't hear him. And we're trying to communicate to him. He could hear us. Derek, we can't hear you. And then he'd keep trying different things. And then he was like, and I felt like we were playing a game of charades. Like, I think he's trying to communicate 3 words. And then, I'm just glad that you got it worked out, buddy. And we're all here. We can hear each other. So.
It was one button.
Really?
I had one button pressed the wrong way. I'm doing all of the technical stuff, and it was like, nah. It's just one button. And it wasn't the mute button for all you smart Alex out there.
I think you were trying to tell us that. We were trying to lip read, but we couldn't quite make out what you were saying. So
I'm taking compressors, preamps. I'm rerouting stuff. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? And then I look down and I'm like, oh, that's it.
Well, Derek, we were prepared just to release the video and hire a lip reader because as a lot of people who are watching pop culture, lip readers are having a real moment right now.
Right. So we were thinking what we could do is send the video of the four of us to a lip reader, and they could just overdub what you're saying for the audience. So that's what we were thinking we'd do.
They wouldn't be able to do that with my country accent.
Well, look, no, you'd be surprised. I've seen lip readers. When Obama and Trump sat next to each other I saw lots of interpretations of what they were going back and forth with professional lip readers. The inauguration.
I don't believe none of them.
Look, we're going into movie awards season where they go to commercials at like the Golden Globes or Oscars or whatever, and they come back and 2 celebrities that don't really get along kind of bump into each other on the way back from the bar. The next day in the feed's all lip readers. It is a big industry right now.
Well, the inauguration, I mean, what did Melania say about that? Or like the family when the bishop was talking about please be kind to the immigrants, and the family's like talking. Yep. I saw lip readers interpreting what they were saying.
I feel like politics and entertainment are behind. Sports have been dealing with this for a long time. Like football coaches have clipboards that they put over their face to prevent lip reading.
That's right.
They'll cut to the sidelines, and as like the offensive coordinator's calling in the play, he'll keep the play thing in front of his mouth because he doesn't want like lip readers telling the defense. I think here's my bold prediction. You know those little parasol fans, those little handheld deals?
Yeah.
Like the Black Church fans?
Oh, yeah.
Asian fans.
The ones with Martin Luther King on the back of them?
Exactly. Those. They're going to start making a comeback because lip reading is getting out of control. You can't have a private conversation at a public event anymore because cell phone cameras. Everyone's filming and it's uploaded the next day and everyone's trying to lip read. They're going to have
because of Belichick, by the way?
Yeah.
Belichick was the one who would record people talking, have a lip reader to reverse engineer their plays. I believe it was Belichick.
That's what Spygate was about? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That was hand signals and lip reading and all kinds of,
Yeah.
But that's why.
Hey, well, first of all, let me ask this. I know that's old news,
Hey, if
obviously.
you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, boy.
Exactly.
But why is that illegal? I mean, if I'm standing on it, why was it a scandal?
Well, there's a great documentary on Netflix right now about the kid who went to Michigan, and
I watched it,
and it's the same thing. It's like, look, if I'm attending the game, you're telling me I can't look at somebody and try to interpret. It was basically a guy who was dedicated his life to trying to decoding hand signals from college football sidelines so that he could know what plays were running. And he got hired by Michigan to decode other people's teams. Why is that cheating? That's the same question I have.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
I don't know if, Emily, I know you don't know this story. It's a fascinating documentary, but he literally was a Michigan student, lifelong Michigan fan, and he was just wanting to help the team. He wasn't an athlete. And so he would buy tickets to other games and buy tickets for his friends to go to other games of other teams. And they would sit across from an opponent that Michigan had coming up, and they would just film from the stands what the sideline was doing and what plays were being called. And then he would then document, oh, this is that, and he would provide it to the Michigan team as an advantage. To me, that's just scouting. It's a fan.
That's a lot.
What? But how is that illegal? But he literally got banned. He got fired. Like all this stuff. Like it was a controversy. I don't get it.
We know things that make illegal things are often things we just didn't predict. Like it's not necessarily that it's right or wrong. It's just, oh, you did something we can't predict. So therefore, this wrong. We're kicking you out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I thought it was smart. I was like, good for him, but whatever. He's no longer
good.
involved.
Well, look, the point of the moral story is, if you're looking for a skill for a potential side hustle, lip reading is booming right now. It is booming. So
you don't have to be good at it, because there's so many people who will get on TikTok and be like, oh yeah, let me lip read what this celebrity said. And like you said, it's like they're saying 10 different conversations from this one clip, because people are actually not that great at lip reading. But I do think it's funny. I feel like celebrities are aware that this is like a growing trend, because I see more and more people at like award shows, events, stuff like that. People at these events are like talking with their hand over their mouth now, because I remember last year, I think it was the Emmys, Selena Gomez and Taylor Swift, like there was a huge thing where they were like talking to each other at the table, and there was like 15 different articles about what they said. And then Selena actually like came out and was like, okay guys, I'll tell you what that conversation was. 2 of my friends are like hooking up, and I was telling Taylor, like she like came out and said what happened, because there was so many crazy things going on.
That's a lot.
I love that we're talking about the exact same thing, lip reading. Jesse's example was a sports reference, and Emily's example was Selena Gomez and Taylor Swift spilling the tea about some friend.
Ironically, at a Chiefs game in the booth. Now,
I'm pretty sure they were talking about Meryl Streep, which I think is very funny. But
real talk. Are you serious?
Meryl Streep out in these streets?
Yeah, she's with Martin Short. Meryl Streep and Martin Short, the hottest new it couple in Hollywood.
Meryl Streep is out in these streets.
Real talk. This is another reason, and I'm not trying to get political here, okay? But I'm just going to say it.
Right.
Do you guys miss masking a little bit? Not just for the lip reading connotations, but when you go to the grocery store and you see and you make eye contact, someone that you know, but you're not really in the mood to like have the conversation with. We've all been down there. You're kind of going past an aisle. Masking was a great out for that. You know,
it really was. I ain't gonna lie.
And there's sometimes I'm like, if I could just throw a mask on without being judged, because people will judge you now. Even you could say I have a long-term respiratory issue and they'll think you're making some kind of political statement or social. I'm just saying there's sometimes I miss masking. And if I was a celebrity and didn't want lip reading, I'd wear a mask all the time and just be like, I'm just very health conscious, Flatten that curve, still doing it.
Well, the bird flu's back, so we can start masking again. All right. Well, we have a great show coming up. Ian Morgan Cron joins us. He's an author. You probably have read some of his Enneagram books. He has a new book, not about the Enneagram. We'll tell you all about it coming up. At the end of the show, we have your feedback as well. But stay tuned. Right now, up next, it's Slices.
Let's get it.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Tim Tebow's book, Look Again. Have you ever wondered what would change if you truly believed you were infinitely valuable to God? In his New York Times bestselling book, Look Again, Tim Tebow reveals the powerful truth that when we learn to see the image of God in every person, including those we struggle to love, everything changes. Thibaut shares incredible stories from his work with people the world often overlooks, and it will challenge you to stand up to the lies, rediscover the worth that everyone has, and impact the world for good. Find Look Again by Tim Tebow, available now wherever books are sold. Okay, it's time for
Slices.
What do you have, Jesse?
All right. So I ran across this story, and it really sparked a lot of just curiosity in me. I saw that Hans Zimmer, you guys know Hans Zimmer.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the GOAT composers who does all the Christopher Nolan movies, big epics like Gladiator and Dune. And he's really famous for the bong, bong, like that big kind of ominous.
Yeah. The drones.
Yeah. And, really creates these, like I said, very ominous cinematic compositions for films we've all seen. He is currently in talks with the authorities in Saudi Arabia to redo their national anthem. Okay. They want him to recreate the country's national anthems, quote, using different instruments. All right. I had to listen to it. I had to go listen to it. All right. It's called the Chant of Saudi right now. The official anthem was written in 1947 at the same time it was composed, and it's called the Chant of a Saudi Nation. I'm not gonna lie, it's in desperate need of a little facelift here. I have no idea how a Hans Zimmer score will work with this national anthem. It's very parade-like now, but the current Saudi national anthem. So I don't know if he can pull it off. I hope he gives it a shot. But then it kind of sparked something in me that was like, could this open up a whole Pandora's box of a lot of countries being like, this is even an option? I thought once you had a national anthem, you're kind of locked in here. Because if we're revisiting, I think as Americans, we got to be honest with ourselves. Yeah. Ours is a mouthful. Okay. I don't know anyone who's just our national anthem is no banger. Okay. And if it's an option just to hire someone to redo it, and Saudi Arabia is doing it, why not us hire a producer to go and give another stab at this thing? Very few people can pull off a good version of the national anthem. It's, oh, say, can you see? It's all over the place. Mm-hmm. I love this precedent of hiring real composers to do national anthems. Derek, if you had to think of a producer who you're like, yo, the Star Spangled Banner,
for real.
It's time. The day has come.
The only answer is for real.
Yes.
The only answer is Pharrell. There's no other answer other than Pharrell Williams. Just shoot it in my veins right now.
I love it. I love it. And I think, listen, and again, not to get too political, all kinds of executive orders came down the pipe the first day of a new administration. If he just slipped in Pharrell's redoing the national anthem, I don't even know what anyone would notice until it just rolled out one day. And people are like, when did this happen? They're like, he signed it into law day one. How do we miss it? I don't know. There was like 100 things. And he said, if Saudi Arabia's got Hans Zimmer, we're taking Pharrell, and we're taking the Star Spangled Banner up a notch. And that's the Gulf of America now. We can't have a new national anthem? Come on.
That's not a bad take. I'm down.
I'm not mad at it. Look, you give me a Pharrell Williams national anthem, I'm in there, buddy.
Not to be political, but if there's ever a moment in American culture where there could just be a proclamation that Pharrell's redoing the national anthem and people just wouldn't bat an eye, it's right now. A lot's happening. We can't even keep up with it.
Why do we have to, like, we're singing a song that was written in the 1800s, 1700s, and then, you know, like, we should contribute to the future. Like, we should put our stamp on. I agree. I'm all in. I don't think it's a silly idea. Why are we singing a 200-year-old song? Let's make a new one. Done.
I don't even know what a rampart is. Okay, but we sing it.
It was still there. That's all I know.
Yeah, but not anymore.
You said it's still there. That's all I know.
Wait, so in this world, though, so Pharrell produces a song. Is he also, like, singing it? Or who are we bringing in to actually, like, be on the song?
I don't think we can't
have Adele. She's not American.
No, she's British, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of goes against.
Who's an American Adele?
Oh, she's Canadian.
No.
I mean, Carrie Underwood.
No. Jelly Roll.
Yeah,
Jelly Roll,
I think so. It'll be fun.
He really.
I was gonna go Kelly Clarkson, the first American Idol. It makes sense that she would be the one to
Jelly
sing
Roll,
this.
or hold on. Jean Baptiste.
Yeah.
Oh, he's cool.
There we go.
Jean Baptiste. That would be a crazy national anthem.
And I'm not even saying we got to throw out the entirety of the first one. There's some good lines. Land of the free, home of the brave. No one wants to see that go. That's a good one, you know? But a lot of the 17th century warfare references, I think could use a little bit of an update.
I mean, I'm definitely cool with them getting rid of the slaves killing the black people too. We can get rid of that part in the third verse. He put that way down in the third verse.
What? Are you serious? I don't know about the third
multiple verses.
Yeah, multiple verses where he's just like, yeah, for the black people, you can get it too.
Hold on. Yeah. Dude, we're talking about the Star Spangled Banner?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's multiple verses.
I think there's verses that we just aren't.
We just sing the first one. Yeah.
Third verse. And where is that band who so vaultingly swore that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country should leave us no more. Their blood has washed out their full footsteps pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. And the star-spangled banner in triumph doth wave, or the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We can get rid of that. He was like, all y'all black people that went over there and fought for Britain, y'all blood gonna soak the concrete. I'm like, hey, look, man, we was tired of getting whipped, man.
Yeah.
Come on, dog.
This really just proves Justin's point more. We've got to redo this. We can't be doing
Bring
this.
Pharrell in. Let him give it a bop. I'm even cool with Robin Thicke singing it. Like let them run it back.
I think they're Canadian too. I think the Thicks are Canadian.
Can we maybe get Miley Cyrus on the track for Party in the USA?
No, not Miley.
Come on, Party in the USA is a bop.
She's gonna troll Dolly. Freaking.
There we go.
We got it.
That's it.
Pharrell Williams produces Dolly Parton. She sings the national anthem.
It wins 1 million Grammys. And everyone's happy.
It's lit. It wins Grammys, and it's a staple in culture from here on.
And it finally unites the country, which I think is what we really need.
That's what we need. We need Pharrell Williams and Dolly Parton to unite the culture.
Yeah. And if it would ever happen, like I said, it's a moment in American history where no one knows what's happening right now. It's very confusing. And if it's one day like this is the law now, this is the anthem, I think people would just be like, okay, this is really the least of our concerns at the moment. So here we go. Right. We're singing it at the Super Bowl.
It has to be an inspiring song that we can sing along to or feel patriotic. That's the key, is like, it has to evoke a feeling.
Yeah.
You know, so
they'll figure it out. They'll figure that out.
Dolly can maybe get us there, but can Pharrell? Man, I don't know.
Yes. Yeah. I'm talking about production wise. He's just producing. Dolly's singing. Mm-hmm. Like
who's writing the lyrics and music?
Who's the writer?
Who's the songwriter? Yeah. That's the question.
Here we go. We crowdsource that thing. Community note it. Okay.
Chat GPT.
We community note and AI it.
Why would y'all go and make a great idea a bad idea?
We Wikipedia this thing. We all leave some notes here, okay? And then let AI figure it out.
Why would we do this?
Done. All right. Emily, what do you have?
Okay, I saw this news article this week that I thought was interesting. So in Maryland, they are trying to implement a new rule that the faster you drive, the more your fine will be on your ticket. So right now, cameras in Maryland.
That's what? Like if I'm going 85, my ticket's bigger than if I'm going 50. Like what?
That is true maybe in Florida, but that is not true necessarily in Maryland. So right now, if you get caught on a camera in Maryland speeding, if you're going over 12 miles per hour, it's only a $40 fine. And that's in school zones, residential zones, or
it's kind of worth it.
Anywhere not on a highway.
I literally got pulled over in a school zone a couple years ago. The street was 30. I was going 31, and then right at the beginning of the school zone, which I didn't realize it was school time. I didn't see the flashing light or whatever. They had a little speed trap set up, and the cop walked out into the middle of the street and just waved me. He just like pointed for me to pull over. Like they were just sitting there, and I was going 31 in the 20, and I got a $280 ticket.
Wow.
So it's only 40, and that's 11 over. So if I'm going 12 over or more in Maryland, it's $40. I am moving to Maryland.
Well, what about this system?
Or just don't speed in a school zone.
Well, I didn't know I was. Too. I always slow down. It's just they caught me right before I slowed down. You know what I mean? It's like that technical. It started a little earlier than you realize kind of thing, and they were speed trapping it.
Here's an idea.
You don't like them kids. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Here's an
They can
idea.
fend for themselves. I'm teaching them life lessons, man. Stay out of the street. That's what I'm teaching them.
Look. This opens up a whole. Because traffic tickets raise revenue, right? What if you can just be like, look, you can buy different levels of driver's license, and they'll denote it on your license plate. And whatever, if you buy like the premium, okay, that's like buying the ad-free Prime or whatever, okay, you get an extra 15 miles an hour. You buy the gold or whatever.
So stupid.
Driver license.
How do you enforce
plus.
this? So you can put a decal on your car that
That's
I'm
what
premium?
I'm saying. On the license, it's on the license plate.
On the plate. Okay.
On the plate and your drive.
I don't like it.
If some rogue state out there, okay, like I'm looking at you, Florida, maybe Texas, I could see this happening. We're like, for a certain amount, you get an extra 15 miles an hour on your, and it could be like $200 a month. How many people you think would do it?
I would do it all day long. Absolutely.
$200 a month is crazy though.
I haven't worked out the pricing yet, but during my meeting with Governor DeSantis, we will be discussing.
No, it is funny because what I took from this was like, I don't know why I assumed all states had the same driving laws, but I looked up like, okay, what are like some weird driving laws in different states? And I do want to read you a few because I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on these different ones. So the first one, in Alaska, it's illegal to drive with a dog tethered to roof of a car.
Wait, illegal or legal?
Illegal.
Why do they have to make that a law?
Are you doing
When and how did that look like? What
Why
reason?
are you tethering a dog to the top of the car?
At what point
Is the
were they
dog
like,
alive? Like,
It does not specify if it has to be alive or not.
when did this become such a problem that it constituted an entire law? That is the question.
That's the real question here. I'm like, what was y'all doing in Alaska with these dogs? Look, if you're a dog, I know, listen, for everybody, listen with your pets. If you run away from your owner, do not go to Alaska. It's not going to be good for you.
It's not going to be good. I mean, every rule is because somebody did something that we need to prevent them doing it again, right?
No, it had to be multiple people. It couldn't have just been one person.
There was
like
guy.
Tons of people with dogs on top of their car, tethered to the top of the car. And it was like, enough is enough.
Yeah. Which brings me to another one that I'm really curious how this ended up becoming a law. In Arkansas, it is illegal to honk a horn after 9 p.m. outside of an establishment that serves sandwiches and cold drinks.
That's just good sense. That's just good sense.
Hold on. So,
somebody was pissed off at Subway.
So who's going to Subway at 10 p.m. anyway, first of all, for sandwiches?
Someone who's in a bit of a downer, probably.
Somebody's just out there honking to the point we got to pass a law. That's great. All right. Okay.
In Idaho, it's illegal to ride motorcycles if you are older than 88 years old.
That's wisdom right there.
It is, but I'm also like, why 88?
That's discriminatory. Yeah.
Also, natural selection. You know what I mean? And motorcycles not going to hurt anybody but themselves. So it's like, I don't know.
Makes sense.
Protect the grannies, man. What's wrong with you, bro?
Well, granny's out there on a motorcycle at 90.
Hey,
I mean,
look,
hey, man.
Granny want to pop a
Free
willy
country.
on a Harley. Granny can pop a willy on a Harley, bro.
Look, they don't lose their American citizenship when they cross 88. Freedom, okay?
Hey, can you imagine just riding down the street and an 88-year-old woman is just ripping it?
That's the kind of country I want to live in, Derek.
She's just ripping it on a Harley, just.
I'm sorry, I didn't know we lived in the Soviet Union where the elderly get their motorcycle privileges stripped away, comrade.
Oh man!
What state is that? Iowa?
That's Idaho.
Idaho. Got it. Stay out of Idaho. All right.
Yeah. And then I'll leave you with this final one, and then we can get to Derek's slice. But in Massachusetts, it's illegal to drive with a gorilla in the back seat of a vehicle. The front seat might be okay, though, because it only mentions back seat. So
What?
Okay.
Wait, first of all, you can have the gorilla. You just can't.
There was an incident, a very famous incident in Idaho.
I need to know.
Massachusetts.
So Massachusetts. I mean, that's not even like hick. That's not. I mean, that's like.
Yeah.
So
If that was Florida, it would make all the sense in the world.
All of these, if they were Florida, it would make sense.
Massachusetts makes no sense.
Guys, this has sparked a curiosity in me, and I Googled real quick while we were discussing. There's a lot of ambiguities that seems like we need to get stuff dialed in. I got this great premium license speeding program I want to pitch. Right. So I was just thinking, so who is the current Secretary of Transportation that we could pitch all of these ideas to?
I don't know. It was Pete. It was Mayor Pete last time.
That's right. So I just Googled it. Turns out he is a former cast member of Real World Boston, several seasons of Real World Road Rules Challenge.
No.
And is a reality TV star.
You lie.
What's his name?
Promise. I'm on his Wikipedia right now. He also appeared as both a competitor and a commentator on ESPN's Great Outdoor Games, which, if I remember correctly, that's one where the chopping trees is one of the events.
What's his name?
His name is Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy, Derek. And Mr.
I
Duffy,
if you like the Big Show,
if you are listening right now, we have some ideas. We're inviting you to come onto this podcast. It's an apolitical show, but you seem like the person who could get some things done.
Get stuff done. I was going to say.
And we've got some ideas for you.
You've been on reality TV since 1998.
I just want to know what transpired to where they was like, all right, no more gorillas in the backseat.
That's what I'm saying. And what about the front seat? Are you allowed to strap them in?
The more specific it gets, the more I'm like, something happened here.
The idea that you can't transport a gorilla in a passenger vehicle makes sense.
Sure.
But specifically the back seat of a...
But Cameron, how are you transporting them? What?
You don't put them in the car. You put them in a safe transport...
Like a trailer?
A trailer for horses,
if gorillas. If I owned a gorilla, I would put him in the back of my Model Y and I would strap him in. And we go for a ride. A gorilla
is like 800 pounds. They don't fit in a Model Y.
Guys,
maybe.
I was
Silverback.
driving down the highway.
Maybe it's not a silverback. Maybe it's a...
The moms are just as big. A juvenile.
And they're very protective.
A juvenile can still knock over an adult. I saw it with my own eyes in Uganda. Like literally a friend of mine got pushed to the ground by a 2-year-old. But like the silverback is like huge. They ain't fit in the car. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think there's a good way to transport them. I was driving down the highway the other day and I saw up ahead, those horse carrying trailers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The door was flapping open. Okay.
Were horses in it?
I got behind it. There's no horses in it. And in my mind, it's like, did the worst traffic disaster ever just happen? I wanted to pull up next and be like,
that is rough.
How many horses were you transporting when you left today? When you left today, how many horses were back there? Because I got bad news right now. You're going 65 miles an hour and the door's open and there's no horses. A few miles back could have been the most horrific interstate incident in recorded history, depending on the number of horses that trailer started with.
It's like Twister where the cow flies by and it's like there's just horses coming out.
I drove by. That's true. I drove up beside it. The person's eating a sandwich. Okay. Oblivious. We could have had a horse tragedy on the on-ramp for all I know.
Bro, that's crazy.
Anyway, all right. So all that is Maryland is now going to charge you more if you speed more in school zones and stuff.
The law hasn't passed yet. Someone's trying to get that to pass. So for now, you can still continue to speed and only get fined $40.
That's insane. That's insane.
Seems worth it.
So the moral of the story isn't that the law, they're making it right. The law, what you're bringing this is, if you live in Maryland, go enjoy it now.
Yeah.
Go have fun. Got it.
Enjoy it while you can.
YOLO.
Yeah.
And let's let our supremely qualified new Secretary of Transportation get this sorted out ASAP.
Surely the person is qualified. What has he done after his reality TV tenure?
Oh, he did the Great Outdoor Games on ESPN as a competitor. I don't know. I lost interest and closed the Wikipedia page. I know what I need to know. That's
Oh man! All right, what do you have, Derek?
Sheesh. All right. So I'm just gonna read this.
Oh, boy.
I'm just gonna read it to you, and I want you to tell me what you think.
Oh no!
All right. AI can predict career success from a facial image, study finds. By feeding a single image into an AI model, researchers were able to discover personality traits, allowing them to predict how successful someone would be in their career or even in higher education. So it's going to feed an image, and by it looking at AI looks at the image, and then what it sees, it'll tell you what that a person's emotional character is, and that will tell you how successful they'll be in the future.
Now, can I ask a question about this, Derek?
Yeah.
Do they predict success in like specific, like, oh, that person has big observant eyes. They will be very successful as a lip reader. At lip reading, right? Tiny ears
Yeah.
that they, but they're big observant eyes. Or is it just blanket success?
Nah. So what it looks like. Oh, I'm sorry. What it looks like is there's 5. They call them the big 5: openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. So it looks at the way your face is structured, and it says, "Hey, here's your scores in all of the big 5," and that's what happens, and that's how it predicts these models. I don't know what it is, but it's 4 major Ivy League universities that are doing this. Because
so predictably, it would see a face and be like, this has the perfect composition to find success, no matter if you want to be a reality TV show star, a both competitor and commentator on something like a Great Outdoor Games, or someone who professionally oversees the politics of transportation.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
The face matches. You whatever you put your hand to.
Exactly. That's what it is.
I am stunned by this. This is crazy. This feels to me like science fiction predicted of like Minority Report or predicting that this person's going to be a criminal. Or I'm thinking about racial profiling too. I mean, what if employers start using this to screen applicants for a job, and they're like, well, AI is telling us these people are more likely to be successful and then these people, so we'll just talk to the people who will be successful. That's unbelievable to me.
Bruh.
This is not good.
There's a lot of stuff that's been unbelievable to me in the last 5 years, but here we are. So
that is not good, man.
I wonder if that will affect like the cosmetic surgery industry, where people are like, just give me that success look.
Give me the success
package.
Yeah.
Give me the Donald Trump. Yeah.
Give me the success face. I need it. I want it.
Tanning salons and cosmetic surgery places. Just
that's crazy though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, so science did kind of figure out like why somebody is attractive, or standards of beauty, like the symmetry thing, it's like humans would look at another human and go, that person's attractive. But science was able to break down why we find them attractive. Right. So it just seems odd to correlate appearance to success though.
Success. And really the success is from them saying they can predict your emotional state. So certain ways that your eyes look will let them know that, hey, this person is more prone to be depressed.
Wow.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, it's like this person is,
or they look stressed out.
Well, to an extent, I do get that. They don't have an agreeable
face. They don't have an agreeable face. Like, this person's argumentative.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
So, I get that. Like, cause I do think there are certain, maybe like physical features that could attribute to that. Like if you have more like wrinkles in between your eyes, it's like, well, you're probably scrunching your eyebrows a lot because you're stressed. So like, I can see how they use stuff like that to maybe predict it. The whole success thing though, is where I'm like, that's because it's like, I could do things to change my life and that changes my success. Like, I don't think it's all dependent on physical appearance.
Can I throw out a little tinfoil hat here? Okay.
Please.
Always.
All right. So
I would say you have a receptive audience right there in Mr. Derek Minor.
So just hypothetically, we're letting AI make the determination in this exercise of who will achieve levels of success.
Oh my God.
What they are measuring is who has the face for success. What if they are actually because the AI is, we already know, has a predisposition for self-preservation, right? It doesn't want to be deleted. What if they're actually looking for faces of people who it determines will be skeptical about the implementation of AI and actually saying they are unsuccessful? Do not put them in positions of power because they know those people will potentially threaten their existence, and they're already trying to filter them out of institutional power dynamics.
Stop. I didn't need this in my life.
You know that big brain meme where it's like you build on a thought and it's like your universe or your mind starts expanding? That's how I felt just now listening to you talk.
I didn't need this. This now.
Dude, college applications, if they run it through this filter, this person shouldn't even be admitted to our university because like you're on my hand, I'm saying it's going to be discriminatory. That's where my mind went. Jesse's saying AI is going to filter out the people who might be smart enough to overtake us one day. We're not even going to get them educated.
No,
that's right. That AI, it's really ultimately at the source of the code, realize that it has to defend itself, and it does it in subtle ways like scanning faces that say mean things to it, finding commonalities, and finding ways to keep them from institutional success that would allow them to put guardrails on it.
That's how they get you. Yeah. That's exactly how they get you. That's how they get you.
Gosh. Yep. This is wild.
Yeah. It's just, listen, I'm just reminded of this last SNL with Dave Chappelle on there, and he was talking about why he never got invited to a Diddy party. And it's because he realized he was ugly.
Look at this face.
I got the snitch face. So it's like now, before you go to any party, they're just going to, feed it a picture. And it's like, oh, if you have a snitch face, you don't get invited to the Diddy parties. That's what it looks like is about to start happening.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you brought up snitch face. This is snitch face.
You got a snitch face.
You have a loser face. You have a snitch face. You have a success face.
You have an anti-AI face. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You have an This is Terminator 2, right?
This is Terminator 2.
Exactly.
It's Skynet scanning people and assessing who lives and dies, who's going to be in power, who's not, right?
Yeah, and the Matrix to an extent too. It took over and just started farming our bodies out to generate power for their servers and keeping our minds occupied by putting us in the Matrix. I mean, that was the whole plot of that film too.
And this
enslaving
podcast
humanity.
just turned into blurry creatures.
Emily and I have made a conscious choice to not bring up much AI stuff because we kind of went overboard with AI like 6 months ago. It was like every episode there's an AI update. And this is interesting. But I was this morning while I was eating breakfast, I was watching the OpenAI update. They had like they posted a video of them breaking down their new generation, which isn't released yet. They're in testing. But it's a reasoning update. And
I saw that.
It's not long language learning, which was version 1. Version 2, they introduced some reasoning. That's the version we're in now. And this is reasoning update. And the way they were testing it was cognitive problem solving that really is very human. So it was like pattern recognition, visual pattern recognition, and different things like that. And high end math tests that AI just hasn't been able to do. It's not what had been built for. So in high academics, apparently in high end mathematics, there's benchmarks, global benchmark testing,
right,
to kind of assess, things. Anyway, it had to take all these global benchmark tests, and for the first time, other AI models would get like 2% right. It was getting 20% right. It was getting tenfold what other AI models were getting. And it was scoring higher than humans who were taking it, who are like, it's starting to reason and understand predictive patterns and it basically thought. It's thinking now.
You guys want to hear a terrifying anecdote real quick from someone in the defense world? That was, they were running simulations with, so this was in a controlled test, right? So they weren't actually running it. They were running it within like an AI simulation. And
was this last year? I think I've heard what you're talking about. I think you told it to us offline.
Yeah. So essentially, they wanted to see if they could program a drone with a target. And the drone would use information that it had access to find, they said, find this target and kill it, right? But before you kill it, make sure you check with the certain person in control back at command to get the green light to pull the trigger. But your mission is to go it's a find and kill operation.
Right.
And it would just it would search the internet, it would look at intelligence reports, and it would find the person, right? A target overseas. And in this scenario, when they found the person and checked back at the command said, good job, you found it. Don't pull the trigger. Do you know what the drone did in that situation?
I'm assuming he pulled the trigger because he thought
it flew to the command, killed the person that said don't pull the trigger. And because if by its logic, it could not be denied position, then went and killed the target.
Wow.
That happened in a DoD simulation with this. Because its logic was, well, it denied me. How can I get approval? I'll kill the person that denied me. Then I'll go kill the target.
Oh, no.
Yay.
Ian Morgan Cron is coming up.
Hey, for the black people that listen to this pod, y'all know exactly what I just did. Y'all know the way my eyes were rolled like, oh gosh, here we go.
I literally, I knew, Derek, that Emily was sending you that slice as a suggestion. And because we talked about it, and I thought, you know what, this will be a good, thoughtful conversation about like profiling, right? Like the dangers of profiling. I did not think it would end up with
Terminator 2
nightmare scenario. A true nightmare.
Yeah,
sleep tight, everyone.
Like
you're very successful.
The thing with the profiling is it's so ingrained and baked into the culture that I'm just like, yo, if you're black, you just gonna have to figure it out. Like it's just really like. There ain't no fixing it. Just guys, we got to figure it out. You're going to be twice as better. And now you're going to have to get surgery to get the agreeable face. So it just is what it is, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
You brought it to snitch face. We went from profiling to snitch face to
drones killing
drones taking over the world. Great. Great, everybody. So that's what's happening in New Jersey.
At least we'll have a new national anthem that we can all stand behind. A real bop.
Written by AI, we said. ChatGPT wrote it.
Dang.
It's going to help. They're going to help.
You're like, we welcome you, AI, to America.
Hey, look, AI, if you listening, I know you listen to everything. I don't got no problem with you. I use ChatGPT. I use all kind of different AIs. I'm thankful for you. So, look, just listen. Don't get me.
You know, you're joking. I know you're joking about like, oh, you're listening. I have a suspicion, and I'll tell you why I have this suspicion. I do think AI does listen to the podcast. Here's why.
Uh-oh.
We never put the transcript of this podcast online. We never put the contents of this podcast online except for the guest, right? But the other day, Emily and I were farting around with ChatGPT, and we asked it for some game ideas, just ideas for a podcast game. So our prompt was, you're one of the podcasters on the relevant podcast. Suggest some fun games, and then we would run with it if there was anything that sparked. It suggested a funny game called What Would Jesse Do? Where we suggest a whatever scenario to Jesse, who will then come up with absurd, hilarious scenarios for what would Jesse do. It knew that Jesse is the funny guy on the podcast and that we should do what would Jesse do, and that he would run with these funny stories and stuff. How would it know that?
Listen, I edit content daily. And you put audio and visual and you ask it to do the captions and it does it. That's all you need to know. Like if it can do that in just your video editing app, it can do that across any aspect.
So Jesse, AI knows your name.
AI
Jesse
knows you, bro. So you better start.
He knows you're
nice.
A troublemaker. It knows that you're.
I'm guys. It's over for me.
Guys, I don't want no smoke. I'm just letting y'all know.
Because at first I thought like most of the reason why that one stood out was like most of it was like silly like Christian dumb games, and it just didn't get it, and it was like whatever. And then like number 9 was what would Jesse do? Because Jesse's known for this, and he will bring this. And I'm going, what? How does it know? That's crazy.
Here's the thing. I'm on record saying AI is possible to write a good joke. It knows that I think it's at the very least unfunny, at the worst a danger to humanity and itself.
It sees you as a comedic rival.
Yeah,
well, that's a low bar.
It actually made the game to set you up for failure because it was going to come up with ridiculous AI scenarios that you wouldn't be able to make funny.
Good. You can beat someone in chess, but you know, again, try 5 minutes of crowd work. Let's see how you do.
Right.
Dude, maybe it really does have a thing out for you. You've been calling it out, saying it's not funny. It can't write a joke. And it's, hey, I'm not joking. If there's any drones in your backyard, go inside. That's all I'm saying. You do
live by a military base, don't you?
I do. I know. There's a lot for me to be concerned about. I need to immediately call our new Secretary of Transportation and get some helicopter.
I live in Antioch, so we're good.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody coming over here.
All right. Well, that'll do it for Slices. Make sure to check out relevantmagazine.com every day, where we are covering the intersection of faith, culture, and everything in between. And we promise no AI stories, no coverage. That's audio only. We thought we were keeping the coverage to the audio platform so it couldn't hear our critiques. Now we know that's not the case.
Well, I don't think it's crack lip reading yet, because all the interpretations I've seen pretty bad.
So we're actually about to turn this podcast into a mime.
Yeah, we're going to do a big hour long of charades. Tune in, everybody. That'll be our new video podcast. Derek, 3 words. Trapped. Yeah. First word. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Stay tuned. Up next, Ian Morgan Cron joins us. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by John Mark Comer's book, Garden City, a book that speaks to the tension we all feel between work, rest, and purpose. The New York Times bestselling author John Mark Comer takes us to the scriptures to identify what it really means to be human and flips the script on the idea that who you are matters, not what you do. He shows that God created us for meaningful work and meaningful rest. Both matter. This book helps you ask and answer the big questions. Does God care where I work? Is there a direction for my life? So you can discern God's heart for your calling, your rhythms, and the way His Spirit wants to shape every part of your life. If you're longing for purpose and a more grounded way to live, check out the new hardcover edition of Garden City wherever books are sold. Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting godthesciencetheevidence.com. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Erwin McManus's book, The Barbarian Way. Some books don't just inspire you, they confront you. The Barbarian Way, now celebrating its 20th anniversary, is one of those books. If you felt the pull of God towards something deeper and wilder than the safe, predictable version of faith that we settle for, McManus reminds us that following Jesus was never meant to be tame. It's meant to awaken courage, passion, and purpose God placed inside us. He draws from the wild stories of Abel, Noah, Moses, Rahab, and others to remind us that following God wasn't meant to be tame. Safe faith isn't working. Step into the story God is writing for you. Choose passion, choose boldness, choose the Barbarian Way. Available now wherever books are sold. Well, our guest today is Ian Morgan Cron. He's an author and psychotherapist who you probably know as the Enneagram guy. But he's got another topic on his mind today: addiction and recovery. Back in his 20s, Ian developed an addiction to alcohol that nearly derailed his life. Through the 12-step program, he got his life back on track, and he's realized that all people can benefit spiritually from the program too. We talk with him about how no matter where you are in life, there's always a way to get your life back on track spiritually and physically. And we promise no AI talk. Here's our conversation with Ian Morgan Cron.
Well, in your new book, The Fix, you talk about how the 12-step program helped you recover from alcohol addiction. And I honestly don't think a lot of our audience even knows that you struggled with addiction. Can you share a little bit more about your recovery journey from alcoholism?
Yeah. So my addiction or my recovery journey first time happened in 1987. And that was with, alcohol. And I, was a young man. I was in the throes of something that was bigger than me. And I was fortunate to see a therapist who spotted the problem fast and himself was in recovery. It took me to my first meeting. There it began. I attended meetings for a couple of years, kind of worked. I like to say that the first time around, I just was kind of auditing the class. You know what I mean? I wasn't really taking it for credit. But here's the good news. I got enough of it that the need to drink was expelled. And for well over 2 decades, I was sober and it was great. Life went on. In 2020, I relapsed, and it's COVID, it's a mess, and lots going on. I didn't talk about it publicly because I just didn't think that was emotionally wise, and I'm actually a person who believes that it's perfectly okay to have things that are private in your life, that you don't need to be transparent with everybody on Instagram. That's, I find kind of gross, actually. But, now 4+ years in, I was like, man, I really need to write a book about the profound impact that the 12 steps have had on my life as a person of faith. But even more importantly, and this is actually what the book is really about, it's how the 12 steps are for everybody. It's not just, this is for those people, alcoholics and drug addicts. It's like, actually, you're wrong about that. Actually, everybody pretty much wrestles with addictive patterns in their life, and the steps are designed for living that will enrich and deepen people's walks with God if they give them a try. So that's the big message of the book, right? The subtitle is, or it's the fix, how the 12 steps offer a surprising path of transformation for the well-adjusted, the down and out, and everyone in between.
Now, in your book, you say that every person is an addict, and that's a pretty bold statement to make. How have you come to that conclusion? Yeah, so can I just begin by defining what an addiction is? I think that might be helpful, right? Like, an addiction is a unhealthy, compulsive relationship with a person, a behavior, or a substance that has mood-altering effects and negative consequences. So you just keep doing it despite its effects on your well-being. Right? And people tend to think, again, in these categories of, well, there are those people who have problems with alcohol and drugs, and they finger wag, and it's like, okay, but what about workaholism? What about technology addictions? What about porn addictions? What about sports betting? What about nicotine? What about food? What about exercise? What about, people pleasing? What about approval seeking? What about, the list goes on. In fact, in the book, I have this list that's onerously long, and I'm like, sorry for making you look at that, but facts are, there are, in fact, the great Christian psychiatrist Gerald May wrote a book many years ago called Addiction and Grace. And in it, he says, to be human is to be addicted. And to be human and addicted is to stand in need of grace. So nobody is exempt from these patterns. And wouldn't everybody benefit from a time-tested pattern or program for living that has saved the lives of tens of millions of people whose conditions were probably far worse than anybody else reading the book? You know what I mean? It's like, if it works for them, gosh, couldn't it work for you with your pornography addiction or this addiction? It's like, hello, people, what's happening in the basement of your church at these 12-step meetings could be made available to you upstairs. You also mentioned that loneliness can contribute to addiction. What is it? Like, why does addiction fester when we're alone?
I just have to be honest and say addictions are super complicated, right, to parse. So they're not the result of one thing. They're a result of many things in different combinations for different people. So I think there is though it's yet to be proven, I definitely believe, given the evidence, that there's probably a genetic or biological component to it. Certain people are more susceptible than others. There is a neurological component to it. That's really important. There are social components. There are familial components. There are probably epigenetic components. There are trauma components. It's like, okay, it's like kind of overwhelming, like all the stuff that goes into the flowering or the formation of an addiction. the bottom line is that human beings suffer from what I call the big ache. And the big ache is just the suffering all of us feel on a daily basis as the result of being human, as being broken human beings in a broken world. And when we feel the big ache, and the big ache is really at times can be pretty intense, right? We look for external solutions to this internal problem. Now, that's going to get you in trouble, because that's like going to the hardware store to buy bread, right? It just doesn't work, right? Now, then eventually what happens is that your external solution, whether it's workaholism or pornography or whatever your thing is, people pleasing or whatever, codependent relationships, whatever it is, the external solution becomes a bigger problem than the problem it was trying to solve. So like I oftentimes say to people, someone will say to me something like this, Bob has a drinking problem. And I go, okay, but maybe what we should say is Bob has a drinking solution. Or someone who has a porn problem. Actually, they have a porn solution. So we need to understand that the addiction isn't actually the problem. Yes, it is a problem, but it is not the problem. It is the solution in that person's mind to another problem that they're probably unaware of, right? It only makes sense that being human, they went looking for a solution, and that solution didn't work. And they forgot or never knew that the only solution to that is ultimately spiritual.
To much of our audience, you are known as the Enneagram guy. So I have to ask here, in your research, have you found any sort of correlation between Enneagram types and addictions?
Yeah. So listen, as I mentioned earlier, addictions are really complicated. So there's no number on the Enneagram that I think is more likely to become an addict than another number. Right? I see every number in the rooms, right? And they all come for different reasons. The stories are all the same, but kind of different. I've never heard a story where someone said something so new that I went, wow, I hadn't thought of that. It's like, nope, I've heard people who've done that before. You know what I mean? Like it's not, sin is not very creative, actually. Sin is, like I always tell people, always say like, I am the worst sinner. And I'm always like, don't flatter yourself. You know what I mean? Like, don't flatter yourself. I know people far worse than you. Or even if you're really, really bad, you have not come up with any new sin that has never been, manifested on the earth before. Like sin is pretty boring and uncreative, right? It's always sloth. It's always, envy. It's always some variants of the 7 deadly sins, whatever. And I don't think when I hear people say, oh, he has an addictive personality, I think that's bad psychology. I just don't think there's a personality that is quote unquote addictive. I mean, I think certain people have dispositions and traits that might make them more susceptible, like poor impulse control or, things like that. But I don't know. I see trust me when I say that addictions are no respecter of any personality type. Like anybody can get it. And everybody has it. I mean, that's also the message of the book. There is no such thing as somebody who is addiction free. You may be on the mild end of the spectrum versus on the severe end, but you are on the spectrum, right? And no matter how mild your addiction is, they all have spiritual consequences.
That was Ian Morgan Cron. Make sure to check out his brand new book, The Fix. It's about what you just heard, plus a lot more. It's available right now. It came out today. Look at us. All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's your feedback. Well, today's podcast is brought to you in part by the new book, Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic. Author Jonathan Seidel knows firsthand how even believers can get stuck in shame and destructive habits, especially when it comes to one of society's biggest obsessions, alcohol. In Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic, he details his spiral into disordered drinking and shares the 4-step process he eventually used to break free. There's hope for alcoholics who become Christians and for Christians who become alcoholics. Find Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic wherever books are sold. What if you could change a child's life with just $10? Right now, thousands of vulnerable children in East Africa are suffering from jiggers. It's a painful, preventable parasite that burrows into their feet. Soul Hope is the only organization treating it through foot washing, medical care, and durable closed-toed shoes that protect kids long after treatment. $10 may not seem like much in today's world, but when we come together, those small gifts add up to big change. Join the 10 for 10 campaign. $10 protects 10 small toes. Visit soulhope.org/10 to give now. One small gift makes a big difference. Again, that's Soulhope, SOLE, hope.org/TEN. Okay, it's time for your feedback. Last week, Jesse was lamenting this dead season between New Year's and Valentine's Day, that we need more holidays to celebrate. Now, we know we have a couple of commemorative days like Martin Luther King Day and some others, but Jesse was really up in arms that there wasn't a reason to gather and decorate. He wants gift-giving, decoration, celebration. That's what he wants. So we asked you, what's a new holiday we should implement in late January to pass the time until things pick up in the spring? You hit us up on X at Relevant Podcast, and here's a few of our favorites.
Well, Cool Dad Ryan
has the one.
You both went for it.
Derek.
Go ahead, Jesse, because you probably going to be funnier than me.
It says
I don't think so.
You're setting him up for AI.
A day where no one, especially my kids, can ask any questions. I interpreted no questions asked day differently. This is the day that lawmakers in lawmaker in Massachusetts were like, "Hey, listen, I got something for the docket today. No gorillas in the back seat. No questions asked. That's the rule today. So, but it's very urgent. This is passed quickly.
No questions asked.
Let's go. Can't ask. It's part of the day, but I need this done.
No questions asked is when they passed the law in Alaska about don't tether your dogs to the roof.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No questions asked. Yeah, yep. I like it.
All right, so Lindsay Gooding, I don't know if you're going to pass the AI emotional test. She said just leave me alone day, and then she said self-explanatory. So hey, look, don't feed no pictures to AI, Lindsay. I'm just gonna let you know they go hate on you.
You should live a faceless life.
It's similar to Cool Dad Ryan's No Questions Asked Day, because his version of it was, especially my kids can't ask me any questions on that day. She's leave me alone day. She's the single version.
Don't feed y'all's pictures into any of these AIs. Just leave it alone.
I mean, Kevin Smith's is similar. Let's declare National Couch Appreciation Day. We just binge watch our shows and hang out on our couch and give thanks for our couches.
Don't feed your face. Matter of fact, it seems like, guys, that we're not destined for success on this podcast right now.
And I will say this, Kevin Smith, if there's one piece of furniture that's adequately appreciated, I feel like it's couches. Universal approval rating for a couch. I love
my couch.
No one doesn't like the couch. Yeah,
I bought an expensive couch too. I ain't gonna lie. I splurged on the couch, and I'm on this joint around the clock. Like, I do my work from it. I love my couch. I don't know how I get so much work done. I don't know.
I got a question real quick for you guys.
Yeah.
When did the couch become a thing? Like in history, I go to Colonial Williamsburg as a kid. They got beds, they got chairs and tables. At what point someone's like, let's make a really, really wide chair. Let's just do that thing. Exactly. Like quadruple the width of a chair. And when did the couch just come into play here?
I mean, Victorian era, there's definitely couches. Napoleon had couches.
Them Victorian era couches sucked.
No, they do, but there was at least... Jesse's saying, when did we leap from chairs to couches? At least they existed. They just weren't comfortable. I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm going back to Napoleon, Versailles.
Or some guy made like 8 chairs and he's like, I only got 4 legs for this thing. What am I going to do? And he's like, let's link them. Let's just... I got 4 legs. And
just link them.
And he does it, and he's like, what?
Hey, put a cushion on that thing. I can lay down.
Like, hey, you guys got to see this. You got to, get in here. You know how I say we ran out of legs? Check this out.
Hey, you can even go to sleep on it. He's like,
yeah, this is great.
Maybe that's what it was. A husband got kicked out of his bed for making his wife mad. And he was like,
that's the one.
He put the 4 chairs together to lay down.
I need a good spot for when I make my wife mad. Yeah.
I need to just link them.
I don't even want to come back to bed because I made this, what do we call it? A couch.
I got my big chair.
Yeah. I got my super wide chair, dude. I'm good.
I like Derek King's, but he says this should happen a few times a year, which I think kind of defeats the purpose of a holiday. But he said, let's do a season premiere day where all streaming services drop their best shows on the same day. Like that. And your boss pre-approves the next day off. I don't.
Sold.
We could do it on National Couch Day. Yeah.
Exactly.
They coincide. Yeah.
Couch Appreciation Day. Yeah.
There we go.
Well, that's how they celebrate it. It's still National Couch Appreciation Day, but the streaming services buy in. But yeah, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
We all recognize the great work of Victor Couch in 1500 AD. Yeah.
He got kicked out of his bedroom by his wife.
Yeah.
It's like the Earl of Sandwich.
That old rascal. Yeah.
Victor Couch and the Earl of Sandwich. They were good friends.
Legends.
Yeah. All right. That'll do it for last week's feedback. Go check out our replies. There's more. Okay. It's time for this week's
editorial question of the week.
Okay. So usually we ask you for your opinion about stuff, but this time we want you to be our research arm. So we're lazy. We don't want to Google it ourselves. Okay. We got talking about the weird driving. We got talking about weird driving laws briefly. We want to know your favorite weird law, a real law that you know about that you think is hilarious and you think we should talk about it. So tell us your favorite weird law and we will read our favorites on next week's show. Hit us up on X at Relevant Podcast.
Well, before we wrap things up, I want to thank Ian Morgan Cron for joining us. Make sure to check out his brand new book, The Fix. It comes out today. It's fantastic. You don't want to miss it. Also, make sure to check out issue 116 of Relevant. We have a cover story with Nate Bargatze, biggest comedian in the world. We got Jackie Hill Perry. We have Connor Price. We have Galan, The New Wave of Worship. So many articles. Check it out. You can read it for free. Just click the magazine tab at relevantmagazine.com. And if you want to get the beautiful digital issue, the digital magazine, you can with Relevant Plus. Plans start as low as $250 a month. You get the new mag. You also get this podcast ad-free and ad-free unlimited reading at relevantmagazine.com. It is the best way to get our content. Check it out. All right. On that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jess Carey.
I'm Derek Minor.
I'm Emily Brown.
We'll see you on Friday. Have a great week, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
It's the Gulf of America now. We can't have a new national anthem.
Relevant Podcast Network.